Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Hot Jobs at HireMilitary. Getting a little feedback. Hopefully that clears up here. But welcome everyone to Hot Jobs at HireMilitary. We are all so excited to be with you today. I hope everyone can get on here all right. Everyone's having a great Tuesday so far. As you're coming in, please take the time to introduce yourself in the chats. We always love seeing who's on the call with us. We are really excited to share some incredible opportunities for transitioning service members this week that are interested in DoD SkillBridge opportunities, including a fully remote position. So this week is going to be a little more focused on SkillBridge. We're going to take a very good chunk of time at the end to go over kind of all questions related to the SkillBridge program. But we still can provide lots of value to our veterans and military spouses on the call as well. Every week we go through the chats and just go over all the questions and information that you provide us. So stay tuned and ask away in the comments. We would love to hear from you as well. So with that, if you're a transitioning service member, veteran, or military spouse, please tag yourself in the comments. I see Benjamin, Brandon, really excited to have you guys on. Please keep introducing yourself in the comments. And while you all are doing that, we'll take a couple minutes to introduce all of the women on this call today. So we will take a few minutes for that. I'll go first. I'm Kate Wood. I'm a recruiter here at HireMilitary. I'm an Army veteran and a current military spouse. My husband is still active duty Army, and we are stationed in Northwest Florida at Eglin Air Force Base. Next up, we have Lucy Robinson. She is quite possibly the furthest away you could get for where I am in Florida. She's up in Alaska. What's the temp today, Lucy? What's the current temp up there?
My gosh, we are a balmy 15 degrees today. But if you bear in mind that at the weekend on Saturday, we were negative 35. We are, probably 50 degrees warmer than we were. Yesterday at school pickup, I didn't even have to wear a coat and it was 20 degrees. So yes, I am in Alaska, originally from the UK, from London. I've been in recruitment for 20 years and here at HireMilitary for the last 6 or 7 months and work with this recruiting team here. Lovely to see you today, Kate.
Thanks, Lucy. And Amber, you are in Texas, correct?
Hi, Kate. Yes, I am Amber Flores. I'm also on the recruiting team. I'm in San Antonio. I am an Air Force veteran. I'm a military spouse. My husband is still serving in the Air Force.
Wonderful. Thanks so much for being here. And Brandy Walker.
Hey, so I'm actually up in the Pacific Northwest in Seattle. So if you've done a screening with me recently, you'll know this spiel. I am a Navy brat, an Army veteran, military spouse, and my husband is an Army retiree for 2 years. So he did a SkillBridge, and we are with that Microsoft family at this point. So welcome, everybody. Good to see you.
Thanks so much, ladies. You never know who's tuning in on these. It might be your first. Hey, is this anyone's first Hot Jobs? I would love to see in the chats if this is the first time anyone's tuning in. I know we have a lot of repeat viewers, so it's always good to see if there's new people tuning in. So let us know if this is your first Hot Jobs. Welcome. Hope we can provide some value for you today. Also, our team would love to connect with you. So if you are not connected with us on LinkedIn yet, please do that. Hopefully someone can, check in on us. Kate Wood, Brandy Walker, Lucy Robinson, Amber Flores. That's how you can find us on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect with you and just be able to, share information as you transition or are going through your job search process. So please connect with our recruiting team. Look at this. Oh my gosh, all these first-time guests. I love it. This is so great. Love to see that Hot Jobs is getting out there, that we have some new people tuning in. Welcome. It's so exciting. Oh my gosh, just everyone coming in. That is so great to see. So keep it up. We love seeing all these people in the chats. But as always, we'd love to know, where you're watching from. Where are you based? Are you CONUS? Are you OCONUS? If you are retired or if you're a military spouse, where are you tuning in from? It's always so great to see the diversity and location that we have here tuning in. And like we mentioned before, we're always looking for, information from you. What are you looking for in your job search process? What roles, what industries? Are there specific companies that you are targeting? This is all really great information for the recruiting team here at HireMilitary as we look to the new year and kind of focusing what companies we really want to partner with going into 2022 to provide the most value to our military community. So please keep sharing that information for us. We go through every single comment following these LinkedIn Lives, gathering information and trying to reply to any questions that you all have. So please keep dropping that information in the comments as we go along here as well. Also, if you've been tuning in, I guess it's been probably over the last couple months, we've been taking a little bit of time at the end of the these hot jobs to kind of share some job search related questions, answer questions, or give, tips, tricks, and advice from our recruiting team here at HireMilitary. So if you have specific questions related to job search, drop those in the comments as well. We've been compiling them. And today specifically, we're going to talk about all things SkillBridge related. So if you are a transitioning service member that's interested in the DoD SkillBridge program and you have any sort of question, please drop those into the comments. We're going to spend the majority of the last probably 10 to 15 minutes answering SkillBridge related questions. But if you have any specific questions, please drop those in the chat. We'll try to answer as many as we can at the end of this. But if you have other job search related questions too, please drop those in there. We're always trying to provide more value and answer any questions that we can for you. So, okay, I've been talking a lot. And we are here to offer new opportunities to our community. So let us jump in. Brandy is going to share a really exciting, fully remote DoD SkillBridge internship with us. Brandy, I'd love to hear more about it.
Right. So recently we've been promoting is the Workforce Insight Accenture SkillBridge opportunity. So it's something we're still recruiting for. We're looking to place actually 15 to 20 candidates in this. It's one of the few cohorts that we actually do. It starts January 24th. It runs for 12 weeks. They are looking to place you in a position. You get a client near the end of your internship and start doing on-the-job training. So we're looking for tech-savvy, lifelong learners who thrive in that fast-paced environment, and they're seeking a career in workforce management. So that's what this is. It's workforce management. As a solution consultant, you'll help clients install, configure, test, and successfully adopt Ultimate Kronos Group technology. So it starts January 24th, ends April 15th, I believe it is, 12 weeks. So that needs to be your SkillBridge window. You need to be authorized during that 180 days. That needs to fall within it. So definitely would love to see some more applicants come through. We've been screening for the past week or so, and great candidates, and we'd love some more.
Got it. Wonderful. I see Calvin just commented that he's interested. So Calvin will definitely reach out to you following this and get you that information as well. Again, you can go to our careers page, which there's links in the description as well that will take you directly there. And the full position description, as well as the direct link to apply is right there. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the role, there's definitely a wealth of detail in that position description. But definitely connect with Brandy as well. She is the lead recruiter for these SkillBridge internships. And this is a really great role. If you didn't have the chance last week, I think it was Thursday, we did a LinkedIn Live with Brandy and Paul Bland, who is an account manager here at HireMilitary, also with Mindy Morley, who is the VP of Learning and Development at Workforce Insight Accenture, and actually one of their current SkillBridge candidates. That we did a LinkedIn Live with them, and they talked about all things related to this role, the interview process, about the role. What else, Brandy? It was just a really great discussion.
It was just kind of like, what you need to be qualified for it. They're looking for those people that have adaptability and, learning softwares quickly and changes. Nathaniel is the candidate, the intern that was on it, and he's talking about the role from his perspective. So it's just kind of that great insight from people actually doing the program and facilitating that program. It's a great thing. I definitely watch it. If you're interested at all, go watch that live and get a little bit more information, and definitely reach out and connect with me. It can be a quick little WFI or Accenture interested. Please do connect, and I'll reach out and we can have a discussion.
Love it. Thank you so much. And again, that LinkedIn Live, it's on our HireMilitary page, but we'll also post that in the comments here as well. So definitely check back here. We'll post the link directly to that LinkedIn Live as well. So again, if you're interested in the 100% remote DoD SkillBridge for solution consultant for WFI Accenture, you can literally just type interested into the chats and we will reach out to you. And again, like Brandy said, connect with her as well. So thank you so much, Brandy. Obviously, I love hearing about the DoD SkillBridge program and seeing fully remote opportunities. Such a great opportunity for our military community. So with that, we'd love to get into some questions here. And I did see a couple people post questions in the beginning there, but if you have more specific questions surrounding the DoD SkillBridge internship, just keep typing those in the chats. As we go answering some of these questions, we'll try to loop back and answer some of your questions as well here. So Brandy, I know that there are, it's a great program. I think it's been around for, about 4 or 5 years. I don't know how long DoD SkillBridge has been
I think the
around. I
first
know
one
it.
came out 2014 is when
2014,
I believe it's when the information,
which is great.
all the fancy rules came out.
Right. All the rules. And there's
rules.
a lot of rules surrounding this program, but we definitely want to clarify some of the information here. So I know, Brandy, you're going to share a little bit about the timeline and some details there. So I'd love to just hear from your perspective, kind of what's some great information just to know broadly about the program.
Okay. So the first is, let's talk about some timelines. So when can I participate? So as a transitioning service member, you can take part during your last 180 days of service. This is calculated from your last day, not from your terminal leave. We don't take that into consideration. So timeline to start participation, that's your window, 180 days. You'll hear 6 months as well, but if anybody does math, 6 months are, some months are 30, some months are 31. That does not equal to 180 if you just pull 6 months. When it comes to how long is a SkillBridge program, so typically they run 90 to 120 days. That's typical. And it is possible to do longer. Some people have done a full 6 months. We've seen it come through. But a typical one, a company wants to get a good 3 months, 3 to 4 months from you to learn their system and to do that fit. If it's a good fit for you, if it's a good fit for them. You do still need to transition out too. You're gonna have to turn in your gear, clear different facilities, whatever your transition involves, getting out of the military, you still need to take care of that as well. So that 90 to 120 days. And then let's talk about start and end dates of your internship. Here at my HireMilitary, we have more of a tailored approach. So we work with host companies and it's tailored on your timeline. We do very rarely do cohorts. I know solution consultant with WFI is a cohort with set dates. We have, I think correct me if I'm wrong, like around 278 listed on our website right now, internships. And those can be tailored to your timeline. It's your transition, your timeline, and you talk with the company and you work that out between the two of you when you're going to do that internship.
I love that. And I think that's one of the great things. I know we've got several questions about it. People said, what's the best way to go about acquiring a SkillBridge internship? And I think it's just to partner with organizations like ours. There's other organizations too that offer SkillBridge internships. And it's really just to go through, our HireMilitary website. We have, like Brandy mentioned, over 270 different internships. Get connected to an organization like HireMilitary, look through our internships, ask the questions, add your resume and build out your profile with us just so you're in our system. And that's the best way really to go about it as well. And then did we touch on, I know there's been some questions here, Brandy, about who qualifies for SkillBridge internships. Could you go over that?
Right. So I do see a question from Cameron of if it already applies to those who are already out of service. It does not. DoD SkillBridge is designed for service members who are transitioning out of the military. It's not for people who've already gone out, and it's not for military spouses. That's just how that program works. It's purely for that transitioning service member. As for other qualifications, you need to have completed at least 180 continuous days of active duty, have a military service categorized as honorable, and obtained approval from your unit commander. So that approval authority for SkillBridge rests with the field grade commander authorized to impose non-judicial, I always have to read this out, non-judicial punishment under Article 15 of the UCMJ. In my head, I know it. Explaining it always takes me a second. So it is your commander who approves of it. So that's part of that qualification process. It's not just saying, hey, I'm going to go do this and going and doing it. There is an approval process. And one of the things we do is help you with that paperwork to figure out what you need to submit to your command after you've been selected by a company and they want to host you for an internship.
Got it. Thank you so much for clarifying that. I know that, I think hopefully it's coming in the future. I think the industry is moving towards finding, internship opportunities for veterans and military spouses. Obviously, the DoD SkillBridge program is a great start for our transitioning service members. But, at this time, it is just for those within that 180-day window from transitioning. And Brandy, I know you mentioned, the commander is the approval authority. And I think it just goes to, in planning for your transition, these are things that you have to voice to your command team. I'm really interested in transitioning, at this time, and I'm interested in these types of opportunities, just sharing that with them and helping to get their buy-in in order to prepare yourself for transition is really important, because they are the approval authority in that process. So Got it. Thank you so much, Brandy. Really great questions from everyone here. Keep dropping those questions in the comments. We'll try to answer any and all that we can. And so I know Carlos just asked a question about, is this all about transitioning only? So we are providing SkillBridge information here, but Lucy actually, I know you have some really great information on surrounding resumes and just working with recruiters in terms of sending resumes, things like that. So hopefully we can provide some value here for all job searchers, whether you're a transitioning service member, veteran, or spouse. Lucy, you provided a really great analogy the other day in an internal meeting, and I really am excited for you to share that with everyone, because it's, that's always like, we see so many DMs on LinkedIn, like, hey, you're a recruiter, can I send you my resume?
Yes,
so
we do.
I'd love to hear your input on this.
Well, my analogy is even better, Kate, right now, even if I do say so myself. So imagine you're in the Great British Baking Show. And you've got Prue Leith and Paul Hollywood. I'm going to be Paul Hollywood today. I'm going to tell you as it is. I'm going to be very candid. There's kindness in my heart, but I want you to be better. And essentially, when we receive DMs saying, hey, can you take a look at my resume? Can you tell me what you think? My initial reaction is, oh, that's a tricky one. But I often say, yeah, sure, send it across. Let me have a look. But in reality, so that you understand, a resume isn't a one and done document. You don't just write a resume and then say, yep, done, task complete, on to the next thing, and then fire that across. That is like sending me or giving me a whole list of ingredients. I've got everything in front of me to make something. I'm in the technical challenge. So you've given me the ingredients, but you haven't given me the recipe. So in terms of sending me a resume, I need to know exactly what you're looking for. I need to know the roles to which you're applying. I need to be able to compare your document to the job that you want to go for, to ascertain and identify whether your resume actually sings to your experience and instills the same level of confidence in the reader that you, the author, has in your ability to do the role. So essentially, we say yes to saying, yes, we can check your resume, but we need you to understand that a resume is a moot point until you have a job that you're applying to. Send me a resume, send me the job that you want to apply to. At least I can do a compare and contrast and tell you if you have a good chance or a competitive chance of at least getting an interview, which is always our first objective when we're working with candidates. But what we really want you to know, and it's great that there are so many first timers here today, because I feel like sometimes I'm duplicating this information and saying it time and time again. Okay. A resume isn't a document that you should focus on or focus what you've done. Essentially, most people, especially when they're transitioning or even veterans, use a resume to document what they've done in the past, essentially utilizing it as like a rear view mirror. It's looking back, it's looking at your accomplishments, it's looking at what you have done. It's not that. A resume should be a windshield or a mirror. It should reflect the version of you that the company to which you're applying wants to see. You should really extrapolate your skills and experience as they pertain to that role. And everything else is essentially filler. Kate, Amber, Brandy have heard me say this so many times. When you read a resume, identify each bullet. Is it context or is it filler? Context, that piece of information is going to help you get the role. It's going to substantiate and establish you as a really solid candidate. Filler is something you've done that isn't going to support your application or isn't going to help you getting that role. The biggest complaint we hear when we work with candidates is, I've applied to 100 jobs, I've applied to 50 jobs, and I've heard nothing back. And my bounce back question always is, but does the reader of your resume who knows nothing about you, can they see that you're a great candidate? Because, the conversation kind of goes like this. Oh, I looked through the job description and I know I can do it. Okay, great. That's amazing that you know you can do it. But do I know that you can do it based on the document you provided me? And often the answer is no, because they've given me that rear view mirror, not the windshield, not the reflective mirror. Also, something that, Brandy and I have been working very hard on this Accenture SkillBridge cohort this past week and a half. And one of the other things I've been talking to the transitioning service member is when you create your resume, take yourself out of the eval mindset. A civilian resume isn't bolstered by numerical data like a military evaluation is. I see 9.4 million worth of assets, saved 75 trillion lives, managed 7,500 people over 3 installations or locations. In essence, that, you know, we understand why you've included it, because it highlights the scope and the magnitude of your role. And we know that that's what you're used to in terms of writing your own military evaluations. But again, my response to those this week has, you know, and I checked this earlier, I actually did look it up. Even the global CEO of IBM would say that they had between 8 or 9 direct reports. They don't say that they have 350,000 people that they manage across the world. So think about it like that. Those big military numbers, as much as we sometimes feel writing them down expresses the scope and the size of the programs and projects you've been working on, it doesn't translate. So I really want people to start looking at that and delivering slightly differently. Something else, just a couple more things to help you. Resumes should be 2 pages long. If you hear that they should be 1, you know, that's great if you can fit everything into 1, but you can go to 2 pages. That is the accepted length right now. Check your fonts and your sizes of your text. I've had so many that I can tell that people have just copied and pasted, created a hodgepodge document and sent it across. Yeah, just do a quick edit on that. And then the final piece is, once you do have your resume to your liking and you're really happy and content with it, the one that you are going to submit, lock it into a PDF. I know that goes against what I've said to my team. You know, I prefer a Word document personally, but I'm seeing a lot of the integrity of documents being lost when they are submitted via email. So do just get it into a PDF and lock it.
Oh my
That's
goodness.
it for my monologue today, Kate.
But it's so, I don't know if you're seeing the comments, Lucy, but people are loving this. I think it's great to have a very candid, honest, somewhat blunt, but it's honest explanation of resumes and targeting and what we're seeing as best practices. We want our military community to succeed more than anyone else. Like, that's why we all work here. Several of us have transitioned. We're all military spouses. We've literally been in these positions, filling out the resume with these gaps and weirdness and like trying to make it fit for ourselves. And so we want to provide that information. So that was great information, Lucy. I see people finding value in it already.
And just to add one more thing, because people are saying it's good information, and I have just scanned the comments quickly. I'll tell you what I normally say to people. Quick Cliff's notes in terms of creating a targeted resume, because I said this to somebody this week and he said, yeah, that's great. I've heard you say it so many times, but I don't know what that actually means. Please, can you explain it to me? This is what it means. Take a look at the job description. Look at the qualifications for that role. Ensure that every single one of those qualifications is included in your professional summary on your resume. You want to capture the recruiter who reads your resume between the eyes. You want to hit them and go, hey, look, I have got the most amazing work experience. I am perfect for your role. You've asked for A through E. I've got it. And I'm telling you up front. Because, Kate, you know, and Amber and Brandy, we read that professional summary first of all. And if it doesn't grab us, we may be culprit to moving on to the next resume, because we don't see what we're looking for. We scan resumes for keywords. And then equally, the next step is to look at the roles and responsibilities. And I think this is the biggest disconnect. People go, yep, I've done all of that. But now isn't the time to paraphrase. You need to make sure that, yep, I've done it, is literally, in their words, written in your career history. So if you've got a line that's similar, delete your line, throw their line in. Because as recruiters, we are looking for our own words in your resume. You are making our life easier, and you are far more likely to be put on that must interview pile.
I love it. Oh man, I know you're so passionate about this, Lucy. We all are. I just love, we can see that. And I want to just harken back to something you said, and it's, you're putting your best foot forward. You're your own best advocate, and, take the opportunities. If you're going to be bold and send a message or an email to a recruiter, use that opportunity wisely, right? Use it wisely, and I think this goes, I know Brandy, you'd mentioned something in a meeting this week about, how to treat conversations with people. And I think, I guess that's a great segue into the piece you wanted to share surrounding that.
Right. So treat every conversation like an interview. So we've been doing screenings, and I know I primarily work with transitioning service members, and I do understand you are at work, you're taking a little time, you might have to pop into another room, or like today, someone had to go outside because they work in a secure area. And I get that. We understand you're going to probably be in your uniform, which is fine, but treat it, that conversation I'm having with you, even if it's just a screening, like an interview. Do a little research, check out the company you're interested. Why are you even applying to WFI Accenture? What about them appeals to you? You know, why are you looking at a Black Spoke, or you're looking at Bruckner's Trucking? You know, have that in your pocket. So if I'm asking you during this screening or this interview, why do you want to work for me? Why do you want to come to our facility and have a job? You know, be able to answer that. Treat this conversation like it's an interview. Do your research. Also, please make sure your Teams or Zoom work before you start. We've had a couple incidents. We do use Calendly. I've been using that to set up my meetings. An email does go out. Make sure you check your email. The link is in there. If you have an issue, please hit me up before, in 2 minutes before a conversation, please. Yes. So, I mean, these are just standard things. And then this screening or interview conversation we're having is like your first step. If you've been working in the military for however long, this is your first job in a civilian world in 10, 20 years, we could be your first conversation of having that talk with the civilian. You know, get those nerves out.
Yeah.
You know, we're your opportunity. Try it out, see how you feel, find out what you can tweak and adjust in your life. But yeah, please treat every conversation, even if it's a SkillBridge conversation, like it's an interview. Know what we're talking about, please.
I love that. Every conversation like an interview, whether it's an actual in-person interview, a phone call, a message, an email to a recruiter, those are all really, really great insights, Brandy. Thank you so much. I know we had a couple of questions pop up in the comments, and I know, Amber, you wanted to touch on something we touched on last week as well about job searching during this time of year.
Yes, yeah, I do. First, I want to say Janine commented that Lucy's resume spiel was like a flashlight in a closet of resume preparation. I could appreciate that, Janine. But I do want to talk, I think there's a little bit of feedback. I'm really sorry. I hope that goes away. About applying through the holidays. You know, we're getting into closer and closer to the holiday time, and people think that maybe their job search can take a back seat or take a little bit of a sideline for a few weeks. But this is really a great opportunity to potentially land an interview, land that job offer, that you could roll right into a new opportunity come the new year. So keep applying through the holidays. It's very, very encouraged.
Yes, please. The jobs have not gone away. People don't pause hiring. There are still accepting applicants and conducting interviews, you know, well into the holidays and into the new year. So keep applying as well. I wanted to touch on a couple questions people put in the comments. We have just a couple minutes left here, but I did want to try to answer some questions. Brandy, someone had asked about the specific dates for the WFI remote role. Can you just reiterate those again, the dates of the cohort?
Right. So it starts January 24th and it goes to April 15th. So it's a 12-week internship.
Got it. Thank you so much. Wanted to clarify that. Sorry, I can't remember who asked that question, but hopefully you're still on here as well. I think was it Charles Andrews asked a question regarding what role does a solid cover letter play? And is this an old technique or an applicable tool? Lucy, do you want to take that one?
Yeah, for sure. I covered this off last week, but again, so many new people here. Like, the actual answer is it really depends. It absolutely does. If they are asking for a cover letter, obviously you do have to submit it. And we have some great points, and maybe we should do one of these on a cover letter one day, because we do have, you know, what to include in every single paragraph to really pack a punch. If it is an option, it's totally on you. If you think that your resume really supports your application and it is obvious through your resume why you're a solid competitive candidate for the role, honestly, there's no need. If you're transferring careers or there's something about your resume that doesn't quite support your application, or you're a mil spouse and you've taken some time out, or if you want to include additional information about you that would solidify your application but doesn't sit historically and naturally within a resume, then absolutely submit one. We do read them. And I think I said last time, I have put people through to interview that based on their resume alone wouldn't have had a chance. But through the information on their cover letter, I've seen why they feel like they're eligible for the position, and I've met with them because they've taken that time. And I think there are a couple of other questions, Kate. I've made a note of them. John Vetter asked, how far back should we go with a 20-year career? Which also goes into Jeremy's point, which was it's hard to put 14 years in a 2-page resume. You are totally right. But these days, we tend to say, just go back to the last 10 years. You know, that is generally the last 10 years are what are going to get you your next job in terms of your career history. Now, having said that, if there's something you did 15 years ago that is absolutely, you know, essential for the company to know about to really support your application, I'd align that in, put that in. But in reality, 10 years is as far back as we go these days.
Great. I'm glad you mentioned that because it is a big question, especially people that are retiring from the military. You know, you span a 20+ career, like what's relevant, what's not relevant. And great advice here from Lucy, Brandy, and Amber. We are coming right up at the 30-minute mark. We could literally talk all day about this, and we'd love to keep spending time answering everyone's questions, but want to be mindful of everyone's time as well. So if you are just at the end of this or you have more questions, keep typing those in the comments. We are literally compiling this right now and using it as resources for next week's questions. Or if you're watching this as a recording, keep typing those questions into the chat. We will definitely try to add those on to another Hot Jobs and answering questions related to job searching, resumes, cover letters, and all of those things. So, oh my goodness, this has been so interactive. Thank you everyone that's been in the comments asking questions. I know we had some people sharing resources. Thank you everyone that's been sharing additional resources for our transitioning service members, veterans, and spouses. It's one of the best things about the military community is just this collaborative effort to help people succeed. Literally warms my heart, makes me so excited just to see that happening as well. So again, thank you so much, everyone. Lucy, Amber, and Brandy for a great conversation today. Thank you, everyone in the chats for contributing and joining us, asking questions as well. We do this every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. So if this was your first time, please come on back. Hopefully you'll come on back. You received some value from this today. So hopefully we'll see you next week for another Hot Jobs with HireMilitary. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Thanks, Kate.